Hey, my Taurus babies. What's happening? Merry Christmas and all that good shit. How you doing? This is EJ from Taurota Tarot, spending my Christmas holiday with you. How about that? We are getting ready to do Taurus and Sagittarius for 2021. Had to close my sliding door. They don't need to know. Anyway, Taurus and Sagittarius for 2021. You guys have some big changes coming up. Especially when it comes to money. I have already shuffled and cut the cards. Thank you to everybody that has liked, shared, and subscribed this year in particular. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. If you are new, welcome. If this is resonating, hit all the little stuff down there. Subscribe, the like button, all of that. And you will be right in tune. So this is what I'm telling you, Taurus, with your Sagittarius. It's going to be a beginning and an ending. No, an ending and a beginning, that part. Something is changing. I believe it's you, dear bull. Yeah, there's the Five of Cups. So it's change for sure. Let's get into it and see what we got going on. You want one card for each month, and I will work it out from that point. So the first quarter of next year, the first 3 months of next year, immediately out the damn gate, there are going to be changes. You're popping up with the death card. So that's telling me there's no, ain't no waiting time, none of that. We're getting right to the meat and potatoes right away. Which, looking at what you all are having to deal with, there's a temperance here. In this deck also is talking about changes. I would rather get some of the big shit out of the way, if you know what I'm saying, so you can get on with the rest of your year, which doesn't look too incredibly bad. But it's a year of change, and there's going to be some challenges that you're going to have to deal with as a couple. In order to be as successful as you want to. So, yeah, the Wheel of Fortune on here, on top of the Hierophant, there's going to be a change. There's definitely going to be a big change. The Five of Cups is pulling the Ace of Swords. So yeah, some of you, let me just put the shit where it is. Some of you gonna break up. Some of you may have already broken up last month or so. So this reading is obviously not going to resonate with everybody, but I think some of you might be able to get some gems and jewels out of this. From this particular reading. Death card. The Death card out the gate with the Seven of Cups sitting on top. Like I said, for those of you that are in your little situationship, relationship, whatever, the change is going to be immediate, or at least the thing that's going to cause the change is either happening or getting ready to happen. That death card in this deck just kind of struck me because I don't see that all the time for every tarot deck. But it talked about sudden change, not just a little bit of change or something sudden change. With the Seven of Cups on top, it's going to have your attention. That's the obsession. It's going to definitely have your full attention. If it's you and your Sagittarius splitting up, obviously, one or the both of you are going to be obsessed on some shit. Because this may be something you really didn't foresee coming, but it could be anything from an incident between the two of you to something that's completely out of your control. What I noticed about the death card here is there's two little souls over there talking. So this could be something that is out of your control, and it may be job related. So for the month of January, just kind of keep your attention on what's going on, whether or not, and for those of you that I'm reading for, so now take that for what it's worth, and whoever this is resonating with, those of you that are going to break up, this ain't going to be an all year thing. You're not going to be thinking about it in January and then talk about breaking up in June. No. If you're going to break up behind whatever this is, you're going to be done with it. That's the end of it. Goodbye. That the cycle of the Wheel of Fortune and that cycle of completion is on there. That's telling me just what I'm telling you. Done, over with, see ya, adios, doo-doo-doo. So, looking at job situations, some of you may be forced into a thing where you have to split up because one's going to Alaska and other one's getting ready to do something else, and it's just not going to be feasible or practical to keep the relationship going, which then speaks to the standing of the relationship. For both of you, especially Taurus, I kind of get this seesaw feeling. You can take it, you can leave it. If something better comes along, you might be on that ship to go. So, again, looking at the Wheel of Fortune on top of the Hierophant in the top end of your overall energy, it's going to be a cycle of completion. Now, for those of you that are going to step off into a new chapter, the World card on the back end of your overall energy also talks about not just endings and beginnings or wisdom and knowledge, but also of expanding your vision. But the catch here, and I know I'm kind of floating around, but work with me. The catch here is to not waste and to not hesitate. And some of you Tauruses may be kind of on the wall about, I don't know if I should take this job, or I don't know if I should keep teaching, or however that's resonating with you. It's kind of where you are right now. And so you may need to expand your field of vision. What else can you do? If you were tired of doing what you're doing, but don't forget, that may bring you right here. So I think some of you may need to go ahead and have a conversation now about where you want your relationship to be going next year. You should have some inkling of what's going on, and you, as I get through this, you'll see why I'm saying what I'm saying. Those of you that are going to make it through January, get to February, we've got the Empress with the 4 points on top. There's going to be a feeling of stagnation, especially if one of you is doing something and the other is not. The other one just graduated, just got a job somewhere, the other one's working from home now, whatever the change is. But it speaks to the kind of prosperity that will be coming later in the year. So be mindful of that before anybody gets all off the hinges about how stagnated you're feeling. And it feels like for the one that may be getting the job, the promotion, the step up, the upgrade, whatever, it's also going to be good for the partner. So if Taurus, if this is you stepping up, moving on, it's going to be good for Sagittarius, and the same can be true in reverse. Sagittarius, if you're stepping up and moving on into a bigger and better job, this is also going to be good for Taurus. So keep that part in mind. We get with the World card one more time. Except this one's on top, and it's sitting on top of the 5 of Wands. And just, how many times am I saying the number 5 here? That part. This World card is talking about going back to vision again. Being able to reconcile whatever changes you got going on. Whatever coming prosperity you got going on. So when you get towards March, April, you may just gain some insight. That is sitting on top of the 5 of Wands. There's definitely going to be some challenges that go along with this growth process. So don't just think you're going to just wander off to the wild blue yonder and, I got a new job. Yeah, new job is coming with some stuff. It's showing here in the relationship because it may create some conflict. So now we start talking about who's picking up the kids, who's taking the kids to soccer, or who's going to fix dinner, that kind of shit is going to create that kind of conflict. And if you've not had that kind of conflict in this relationship, then this could be new territory. Just saying. So those are things to think about. When you get into April, this is the back of the Strength card. And I'm just wondering if there may be some breakdown in communication. Sitting on top of this Ten of Pentacles between the two of you, creating some friction. And again, with changes, whenever the World card pops up, no matter, just whenever it pops up, there's always some adjustment that needs to go on. So just as surely as you get out of your car, y'all know, especially if you're female, you got to pull your skirt down. That's a period of adjustment. You might have to put your shoe back on because you've been driving with one foot or doing something crazy with the other foot, whatever. But just that little bit of time is a period of adjustment. And sometimes when we're not looking at the micro, we're just looking at the big picture, it just gets kind of overwhelming. And sometimes you need to just break things down into those little increments so you can get adjusted to whatever you're stepping off into. You get to May, April and May, Taurus birthdays. You got the Sun card on top of the Temperance. This is a word to both Sagittarius and Taurus. Don't be afraid to stand up in your light, but don't lose your balance doing it. There's no reason because you are trying to be an individual for this to create any kind of emotional, relational anxiety. That part right there. You should be on good enough footing if you've come this far in your relationship that you should be comfortable enough to let the other shine without you having to be, stage mom in the background. Hey, pull your skirt down. Hey. Yeah, you should both be able to individually stand in your own light and maintain balance. Now, again, we're talking about a period of adjustment. Changes with jobs in particular may require that one or the other of you getting a bigger position. It's going to require, talking about changes with the Temperance card as well, that you may have to let your partner just go ahead and do their thing. That does not mean you should not be in your light. Why do I feel like I'm talking to Taurus? The Taurus, that just because Sagittarius is doing their thing doesn't mean you can't do your thing. And I know sometimes as Tauruses, with our loyal selves, we'll forget what we doing because Boo-Boo has got a new job. And before you know it, we're 2 years in helping Boo-Boo. Yeah, and you forget about you. No. Temperance and this equals keeping your balance while you maintain balance in and without of the relationship. That part right there. We get to June, the Page of Cups and the Two of Cups. For some of you, there may be some news or some type of offering with that Page of Cups down there emotionally from not just your person, but now, and so this has got wedding bells going off in my head, their family. Go figure it the hell out. I don't know. That's what the energy is telling me, though. So some of you may be making a step up come June. You may be getting married or you may be getting engaged. This is kind of like the break in the action. So whatever's going on, it looks like things will be going okay. I didn't say well, I just said okay, because we're doing different things. So if you're getting married next year, obviously if you're in the northern hemisphere for sure, and you're still dealing with the pandemic, as it were, there may be some things you have to negotiate. Just saying. All of this may cause you some anxiety. Don't let it. Things will, like I said, be okay. And I think sometimes we just have to deal with okay and not spectacular firework type shit. But there's cooperation there behind the scenes, if you will, from family members. So if it's offered, feel free to take it. When we get to July, oh, the poor queen, the Queen of Swords, she's got her booty to us, sitting on top of the Magician. There may be, now here's some more friction, I'm sorry, that may just kind of creep in. And sometimes during the summer we get antsy because, you can't do what you really want to do. Maybe you can't make vacation, whatever, however that's resonating. Sometimes in summer you just get antsy. Would probably be a good idea next year is to work on the blockages and look at where one or the both of you are not using all of your talents. That's in the relationship. There may be things that the two of you can do together, and you just have talents that are laying dormant. Yeah, there may be projects the two of you can work on together. So midsummer, you may want to just stop, take a look at what might be blocking you from being as creative as you may want to be in your relationship, and freeing yourself from whatever it is that's blocking you. Queen talks about liberation when she's got her skirt up to us. I'm just saying, looking at the backside. At any rate, August, the Queen of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. Again, there's this energy of support around both of you, actually, not just Taurus. So there may be some things going on next summer that are going to require familial support. Family, cousins, aunt, uncles, and them. You know what I'm talking about. Continue to persevere in whatever each of you are doing, Taurus and Sagittarius. Don't just think because it's whenever. You just kind of slack off. No. Continue doing what you're doing and reach out, because this is very, I don't say this often, this is very loving energy coming up off the Queen of Cups. So there'll be some emotional support if there are challenges that you're having. Some of you may even be related to children. So if you need help with the kids, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Okay, I went backwards. I'm sorry. No, I didn't. Okay. Moving right along. Page of Pentacles with the Four of Wands on top. There may be some money or health stuff that comes up next September. Maybe some new people floating in. There may be, this is another part of Taurus and Sagittarius, another group of you may be trying to get married in September. If this is about money and debt, work together to get whatever quashed. Seems like there may be something pressing that needs to get paid. Y'all got it. You just need to do it. But there may be some quibbling. This may be a contractor that's come to the house and did some fucked up work, and now they want to get paid, and you want to make sure whatever they fucked up gets unfucked before you pay them. That kind of energy. Work together to figure that out and to get whatever done. Don't let anything linger. You see them leaves blowing up there? You don't want this shit to just blow off into another area of your life. It can, whatever it is. So whatever it is, work together. You got the money sitting on the Page of Pentacles. So you got a little bit of change to do this. Not a lot, a little bit. Go ahead and do it so it's not affecting you somewhere in your future. October, with the Hangman, the ass end of the Hangman, if you will, on top of the Seven of Swords, there may be some isolation between the two of you. One may be taking tests. The other may be trying to do something at work, get a project together. But you may have to adjust your perspective. And you may have to do so permanently from that point going on. So this could be schedule changes. This could be a department head that's coming to straight up in my head. I don't know where that came from. So you may be moving up. Next year for Taurus and Sagittarius, as far as work is concerned, there are definite periods of graduation and improvement. So you'll gradually be getting to whatever it is you're aiming for, but it's going to be on a step-by-step basis. But that means every 2 or 3 months, there are going to be changes. It's the same thing. When I tell you, getting out your car, where's my strength card? You know, you get out the car, you got to straighten down your pantyhose. It's wintertime, you got to fix your coat. Y'all know, and that just that little brief period of time is still a period of adjustment. So it's the same thing here, but this is on a bigger scale. So it's not just going to be a period of adjustment. Now we're not just pulling down skirts and putting shoes on. Now we changing up skirts. Might be putting on pants. Might be wearing sneakers. Who knows? But it's going to require a total change of perspective, and that's going to be a long-term thing. Once again, challenge, perseverance. Do not stop. Whatever the hell y'all do next year, don't stop. Even if you break up, don't stop doing what you're trying to do to better yourself. Next year is not going to be the year for that, and you will get left in the dirt if you stop. Just thought I'd throw that out there. November, 9 of Cups on top of the Queen of Wands. There may be some deceptions going on, some deceit, some hidden truths. This feels more like hidden truths to me than just flat out deception. I'm not going to put the word cheat or infidelity in here. It could be something else, money related. Just throw that out there. But keep your eyes open. Keep up with everything as best you can, especially if you're trying to juggle family and school and all the other little goodies that go along with having a family. Keep the lines of communication open. I know I said this for, I think, Taurus and Cancer the other night. That is resonating here as well. Keep your line of communications open, because you're going to have some tense spots. And if you make it, like I said, past January, and y'all ain't got no sudden death changes, and y'all ain't splitting up and trying to kill each other, that part. If you get through the year, keep the lines of communication open, because it's going to fluctuate. You're going to have really good times and really fucked up challenging shit where you're going to need to call your family. So try to keep the lines of communication open. We get to next December, 6 of Swords with the Knight of Pentacles on top, talking about keeping your balance, making compromises to ensure future security. That part right there. Make sure that as a couple, especially individually, but particularly as a couple, any compromise, talking about keeping them lines of communication open, any compromise that needs to happen, go ahead and let it happen. Don't fight that. The compromise is going to guarantee your future, basically. You're going to put your money on that part right there. Overall, not a bad reading. Your challenge with the 5 of Cups is to deal with the changes that are coming, and some of it's going to fucking be painful. Now, for those of you that are breaking up, that was obvious, but for those of you that are sticking together, there's going to be some disappointment. Just buckle that shit up. It is. And it's cool. That's what makes your relationship, that shows you how strong your relationship is. But here's the thing. Both of y'all, it's just one sword. Even though it's 2 people in a relationship, there's one sword. You can't have 555,000 visions of what you see your relationship being between the 2 of you. You got to get on the same page. That's your challenge for next year. Deal with the disappointment and whatever loss, and try to be on the same page. That part right there. Let's see what the granny cards got for next year. Not a bad reading. This is going to be work for everybody next year, not just Taurus and Sagittarius. Next year is going to be a work year, because if you think about it, we've spent the bulk of this year not really working. Even if you were working, we were really kind of surviving, trying not to catch the pandemic, that part right there. So next year, as things begin to gradually open up, as we begin to see some easing with restrictions because of vaccinations and whatever else they threw out there at us, things are going to begin to pick up, and you're going to notice we ain't doing a whole lot this year. We really just didn't do a whole lot. So buckle up, stay positive. Don't get into these little quagmires and, I feel like I wasted all my time. I didn't move. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're wasting air and you're wasting energy. Keep your focus on the positive. That way you can at least figure on a better result. You can do better. I hear that going a lot of different ways. Those of you that may be breaking up here in the near future, don't think that you can't do better. And that's not to say that the Taurus or the Sagittarius that you're currently with is not good, but they may not be good for you. That part right there. So others of you, this is about your job. You might be thinking, you know, some kind of old shit. I mean, just stay here for 20 years. You can probably do better. It's probably a better job out there for you. It's not going to come to you. You're going to have to go get it. I'm just saying. So do what you need to do, but just know that you can do better. Don't go overboard. Emotionally, that's that whole balance thing again. As a couple, don't just get all off in the weeds on some dumb shit. Try to keep the shit moving in a forward positive direction. You ain't trying to get all bogged down with dumb shit. You know, people are coming with bucket loads of that 2 at a time. Try to keep that shit moving. Some point, one of the both of you need to sit back and watch what's going on around you. This is particularly at work. You want to do all this promoting and whatnot. Sometimes you got to sit back and watch what people are doing. Hidden truths, I know that popped up here. That could very well be work related. You may find some shit out at the end of the year like the fuck. That part right there. Don't let it get you off point. Once again, we go back to that. Don't go overboard. Taurus and Sagittarius, I love you. I hope you guys have a wonderful beginning of the new year, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.